Good morning, world. All right. Let's see how we're looking. Curious to see if that pops up there. Hey, sound. How you doing? Hey, Romero. Nice to have you guys. Audio is a bit weird. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Oh my god, every single time. Alright. Hey, Kami. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up on my phone, see what the audio is looking like, see what's screwing up. Echo is back. Fantastic. Love that. Yeah, great. Every fucking time. Okay, I'm wondering if that's a little bit better. Either way, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up on my phone, see what it's sounding like, and then adjust accordingly. I promise. One of these days, I will get the hang of this. I promise. Oh wow, that is really fucked. Okay, I'm wondering if that's a little bit. That is not better at all. Jesus Christ, that is fucked. Okay. All right, I'm gonna. Either way, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. Wow. Okay. That is not better at all. Jesus Christ, that is fucked. Okay. I think this might be better. Either way, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. I think now it's loud. Okay. All right, let's see if that turns it down. See if that's doing a little better. Sorry. Wow. Okay. That is not better at all. Jesus Christ, that is fucked. Did it just go to one side? Oh wow. Okay, so I'm just making different shit get absolutely fucked. Okay. Let's see if that's better. It's still very loud. Okay. All right. Let's see if that's a little bit better. I think. Let's see if that's better. It's still very loud. Okay, it's still echoey, but the loudness is taken care of. So that's one thing down. Let me. No, that would just do that. Definitely better. Still not great though. Okay, that's improvements. We're making good improvements. Just do that. Definitely better. Still not great though. Okay, still very echoey. Okay, you know what, guys? I'm gonna end stream for like 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I will figure this out. All right, give me 2 minutes. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep stream going. Instead, I'm gonna mute myself on stream, and then we'll do that. Okay, give me 2 minutes. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. I'm curious if that's better now. Give me a second. All right. Yeah, this is a great way to start that. Okay. Okay. I think at least I think that sounds pretty good now. I'll just wait to hear back from everybody, but I think I see what was happening. It was picking up my audio in 2 different places. I see. Okay. All right, there we go. We got that sorted. It took a minute, but we got there eventually. Okay, that's good. All right, I'm just gonna toss. Actually, I'm gonna do one more quick thing here. Pop a chat. Go over here. Okay, dope. All right, and I'm just gonna get music going. All right. All right, I think we should be all up and running now. Switches sides from ear to ear. Still. Okay, interesting. Let me know if it stopped doing that now, Romero. Because the mic has like different settings for how it's set up, and for whatever reason, when I switch between my Mac and the computer, I have to switch it back and forth, and then I forget how to set it up correctly. It's just a goddamn mess all the time. Okay. Oh, fantastic. Okay, there we go. We got there. It took a minute, but we got there. Well, yeah. Okay. So, chapter 86. So, at the end of 85, when we left off, Klein found that at the birthday party, I can't remember the girl's name, that his sister brought them to, they were doing some kind of ritualistic magic or something that was bringing over a dark presence or like something negative. We don't know exactly what. As a result of which, he sent that one girl that he did know from the market to try to help, and then he said like, hey, bring the birthday girl over to her room, and then we will figure it out. Basically, he said like, I'm gonna do ritualistic magic to try to clear up what happened. Amnesiac, you missed exactly 6 minutes of me troubleshooting audio like an idiot. Yeah, that's what you missed. Yeah, it's a great place to enter. Okay, stalling, probably not the right word. I think technical difficulties is probably more accurate. Romero, let's be fair. Come on. Okay. Chapter 86, Prayer. Suspension-style ritualistic magic referred to the termination of a ritual according to the Beyonder's judgment. They could finish other matters first before returning to continue the ritual. Even by doing so, it was still possible to gain the desired effects. This was a technique produced over 1,000 years of ritualistic magic development. After all, many high-level ritualistic magic required multiple steps. The duration ranged from an hour to half a day before finishing. It was difficult to ensure that no one disturbed them during the entire process, or that there wouldn't be accidents. After gaining lessons from various predecessors through blood and tears, gaining feedback through each failure, being able to suspend ritualistic magic became mainstream at the higher level, while it also indirectly affected the lower level rituals. By the way, because of the overlay, let me know if you guys can read relatively okay. I can try zooming it in and stuff as needed, but I think it should be okay enough that you guys can roughly read what I'm reading. However, being able to suspend a ritual didn't mean that the ritual could be suspended at any time. One had to abide by mysticism theory and grasp the corresponding technique. If not, the failure of the ritual was unavoidable. It could even result in a terrifying backlash effect. Hey, Devil, nice to have you. Your phone's cooked. What's happening? Is it just giving you trouble, or did you drop it, or drop in some water, drop it in the toilet? What happened here? Based on Klein's understanding, once one gained the attention of a particular divinity, and the divinity was waiting on the contents of the request, to suddenly say, wait, I need to use the bathroom, one can only be congratulated, since they might never need to go to the bathroom ever again. Klein heaved a sigh of relief as he composed himself. Even though he had held many luck enhancement rituals and even had designed a corresponding ritual that made an attempt at justice on the Hanged Man, this was his first ritualistic magic that abided by the rules. Display can't fully register my touch anymore. Oof. Yeah, that's the worst, because you're like, because it's intermittent and then you don't know how you can, it's just, ugh, what a nightmare. It's a bit small on mobile, but we can zoom in and out. It's not a big deal. Okay, no worries. In that case, just because troubleshooting would take me like a ridiculously long amount of time because I'm technologically inept, I will leave that as is, and then I will figure out the zoom a little bit, because I can maybe I can cut out the sides a little bit because you guys don't need to see this black, and then zoom in a little bit more on the text and then allow you guys to read a little bit better. But I'll figure that out post-stream. After looking at the silver inlaid cane by the side of the bed, Kane picked up the third candle and placed it in the middle of the desk to represent himself. He placed the silver bowl that Selena used for rituals in front of the third candle and placed the axe with the sacred emblem on the left, where the pure dough and essential oils of the moonflower, slumber flower, and other plants. While on the right, he placed a plate of salt, a small silver dagger, a piece of fake goatskin, and a quill that was dipped in ink. Oh, yes, actually, that's a good point. That's actually a really simple solution, Romero. Jeez. Alright, that should be better, I think. Yeah, that... I was thinking I was going to have to adjust the... how I was doing that, but you know what? That works. It's more janky, and it works. So, you know what? We go with that one. Thank you. Luckily, Selena had a complete inventory, otherwise he wouldn't have had any way to complete the preparations. As for the moderately fast rituals that old Neil could perform, they were not something a seer could do. From the looks of it, Selena was quite an experienced mysticism enthusiast. Yes, if she wasn't experienced, then she wouldn't have gotten into such trouble. She was only 16 and had been exposed to all this for at least a year. Who had been guiding her? Ideas flashed through his mind as he picked up Selena's cup from the bed. He poured plain water into it and placed it beside the coarse salt. Could Selena be trying to enter like a secret society or something? Or have some kind of mentor or something in something like that, maybe? He picked up his pocket watch and popped it open. He didn't delay any further after taking a glance at it. He traced layers of spherical light in his mind and quickly entered meditation. The room was filled with floral fragrance. The room that was filled with floral fragrance, my god, was suddenly subject to a formless whirlwind. Klein put away his pocket watch and his eyes suddenly turned darker, from brown to black, as though he could see through one's soul. He extended his palm and laid it against the candle on the top right. He chanted inwardly, "Evernight Goddess, you are the Lady of Crimson." As Klein chanted, he extended his spirituality and rubbed the candle wick. After a couple of moments, the candle suddenly lit up, and there was a tranquil blue inside the dim yellow light. "Evernight Goddess, you are the Empress of Disaster and Horror." Just as he did before, Klein successfully lit up the second candle on the top left corner. "I am your loyal guard, the shield that fends against danger in the dark night, and the long spear that stabs at evil in the silence." Whoosh! The third candle that symbolized Klein began to burn. The flame was still. He picked up the small silver knife and mimicked Old Neil's motions. He used incantations, coarse salt, and plain water to fulfill the purification. Then he let a spirituality that he had gathered spewed out from the tip of the silver knife and naturally merged them as one. With the silver knife in hand, Klein walked around the bedroom, kneeling when he came to the bed, and sealed the area with a formless barrier. The light from the street lamp outside and the window suddenly disappeared, but the dark red light was still shining through quietly. Klein returned to the study desk and picked up the quill. With spirituality and ink, he drew incantations and symbols to ward off disaster. When all of that was finished, he put down the things he was holding. Then he trickled a drop of pure dew, flower essence, and the essential oils on each of the 3 candles. Sizzle. A faint fog filled the room, which suddenly possessed an additional hint of mystery. honorific names are totally peak. The Evernight Goddess? What a... Holy shit, that is so hard. Oh my god. Next, he burned a type of herb before taking a step back from the mixture of fragrances and began reciting the corresponding incantations in the suspension ritualistic magic. Nobler than the stars and more eternal than eternity, the Evernight Goddess. Like, talk about aura. What the fuck? Nobler than the stars and more eternal than eternity, the Evernight Goddess. I pray for your loving grace. I pray for you to show your loving grace to a devout believer of yours. I pray for the power of the crimson. I pray for the power of disaster and horror. I pray that you will cleanse your devout believer, Selena Wood, from evil corruption and be safe from danger. I pray that you would wait a moment for that unfortunate girl. Moonflower, a herb that belonged to the red moon, please bestow your powers to my incantation. Slumber flower, a herb that belongs to the red moon, please bestow your power to my incantation. After reciting the incantation, Klein closed his eyes and repeated it 7 times in his heart. Oh, you didn't even have to say it out loud 7 times. That's cool. He saw that there was nothing out of the ordinary at the altar. He then lifted the silver dagger again and took a few steps back to the door of Selena's bedroom. He tapped his chest in 4 spots, forming the shape of the crimson moon. He then turned around and raised the silver dagger. His spirituality spewed out from the tip once again. I want to make like a spewed out of the tip joke, but it's beneath me, so I'm not going to. And sliced open the shape of the door in the formless wall. Klein knew that even if he opened the door at that very moment, it wouldn't affect the tranquility and holiness of the altar. He took out the silver vine leaf pocket watch that had an intricate pattern. He checked the time and went through the process that was to happen in a few moments. And stands higher than the cosmos. That's absolutely right. Yeah, those are awesome. In the living room on the 2nd floor, Elizabeth's body was quivering as she lifted her head from time to time. Where was I? Hold on. As she lifted her head from time to time to check the wall clock, she was counting down in the silence under the illumination of 2 gas lamps. It's almost time. As she spoke softly, she looked sideways at the lovely girl with wine-red long hair. Her dimples were deep, her smile was bright, and she gossiped well at the friends around her. But the more everything looked normal, the more terrified Elizabeth felt. The cold and horrifying Selena in the mirror seemed to be in her head, and she couldn't wipe the image away. I can't wait anymore. I have to take action now. Elizabeth suddenly stood up before everyone's shocked gazes. She smiled and stuttered, Selena, I have a surprise for you. Follow me out a bit? Really? Didn't you give me a birthday present already? Selena flipped the mirror the other way around and stood up in surprise. A surprise will not have any signs. Elizabeth felt that she had no talent in acting at all. She does not. Without saying another word, she walked towards the bedroom door first. Selena followed behind with a confused smile. Melissa looked at her 2 best friends leaving and unconsciously knitted her eyebrows. Elizabeth is acting so strange today. She started acting even stranger after she met Klein. She suddenly ran out earlier and said that she needed to use the bathroom, but why did she look so anxious? He totally thinks Klein is like trying to date Elizabeth for sure. She said this in chapter 85. I didn't stream when I was reading that one. He was like, Melissa goes up to Klein. She is like, hey, Elizabeth is only 16. Selena's bedroom entrance. Elizabeth took a deep breath and said to the girl in front of her, let's go to your room. Elizabeth, you seem very nervous and afraid. Why? Selena looked puzzled at her good friend as she noticed her body trembling constantly. Excitement. Yes, excitement. Elizabeth shot a glance at the mirror in Selena's hand as she turned half her body around to knock on the door, with a long knock followed by 2 short successive ones. Why are you knocking on the door? Selena was even more baffled than before. Her bedroom door opened. Dressed in black tuxedo and a half-top hat, Klein appeared in front of the two girls. Pleasant surprise? This is a pleasant surprise? Selena's mouth turned agape as she felt perplexed. At that moment, Klein suddenly reached out his hand and grabbed her by the wrist. He pulled her into the room as she stood rooted to the ground. Simultaneously, Klein's silver dagger struck forward as it spewed out his spirituality, which quickly mended the door-shaped passage. The invisible spirituality wall sealed off the room, insulating Selena's screams within. Bang! Klein suddenly closed the door, and without even looking at Selena, he rushed to the desk. The wine-red-haired girl stopped screaming as soon as she looked up and surveyed the room. Her gaze rapidly turned cold as her skin was mottled with paleness. Her fingers rapidly grew sharp fingernails. What the fuck? At that moment, Klein had already returned to his cogitation state. He trickled a drop of moonflower and essential oil onto the candles as he chanted loudly. Supreme Lady of Crimson, Great Empress of Disaster and Horror, I pray for you to bestow your loving grace. Show your loving grace to the lost lamb Selena Wood. While chanting, he picked up the fake goatskin and pushed it onto the candle representing the requester. He felt a cold wind blow behind him as an immense energy assaulted his body. The goatskin was ignited and Klein threw it into the silver bowl. Then he crouched downwards in accordance to his preparation to dodge the lethal strike. The lethal strike was... Is Selena trying to kill him? The wind howled ferociously, and Klein felt the uncontrolled outpour of his spirituality surging like the currents. He saw the goatskin burning in the tiny bowl, burning in silent darkness, and he heard heavy items landing on the grounds behind him. The two sounds followed one another, with almost no breaks in between. Wisps of dark green gases plunged into the silver bowl and vanished into the illusory darkness. Klein rolled onto the side and got up. He drew his revolver from his armpit holster. However, he saw that the adorable red-haired girl Selena had fallen to the ground, and the silver-coated mirror had shattered into countless broken pieces on the carpet. Those shattered pieces didn't reflect Selena, but they showed the ceiling and Klein's silhouette. Okay, so everything's back to normal. The Evernight Goddess came through. Let's go! Then the spirit vision had left, Then through the spirit vision he had left active, Klein saw the wicked green dark in Selena's aura had vanished completely. Everything returned to normal, but she seemed more frail. He had just realized he felt a sharp throbbing pain in his glabella and head. The sharp pain spread all over his body and made him want to roll on the ground. Klein held his fist tight, and the veins in the back of his hand popped up and became black. They looked like moving worms. What the fuck? What is happening here? I'm assuming the pain is just because he's not used to doing ritualistic magic and it's putting like a strain on whether you want to say his body or his soul or whatever that may be. I'm assuming the veins moving around I assume this is like a consequence of the fatigue as well, but I don't know what this is. This is wild. Simultaneously, he heard silent screams and the whispers that ripped at his mind. It took him nearly 20 seconds to survive the ordeal. His forehead and vest were soaked in cold sweat. The ritualistic magic I used sucked up all my spirituality and almost made my Beyonder powers lose control. Whoa, okay. Klein took a rough guess. That made him notice that he had digested quite a bit of the remaining energy in the potion. Based on his calculation, if he had the strength at the time he consumed the potion, he believed there was no way he could have survived the ordeal. He could have become a monster straight away. Acting is quite effective after all. Klein tapped his glabella and wiped away his sweat. Yeah, but the consequence to this means that in 40 chapters, you're going to have to start acting like a clown, which is not so bad. My friends do it for free all the time, but still, on principle, that's not great. He turned towards the altar, tapped his chest 4 times, and said loudly, "Praise the lady." After that, he extinguished the candles and quickly tidied up the altar. Finally, he placed the items back into the desk and placed the silver daggers to dispel the spirituality wall seal. Whoosh! The sound of the wind echoed before subsiding. Klein let out a long sigh of relief and felt a sense of lingering fear. Yeah, bro, you should. You're in a 16-year-old's room. She's passed out on the floor and there's a broken mirror. You should feel a lingering sense of fear. You got some explaining to do in like 20 seconds. If I hadn't walked through the process beforehand and successfully completed the ritual, then things would have become troublesome. Besides, I still don't know who my opponent or enemy is. Thankfully, the room was carpeted so I didn't damage my clothes while rolling. He shook his head and reached out to open the wooden door to Selena's bedroom. How was it? Elizabeth took 2 steps back and asked nervously. Klein looked at her terrified expression and took off his top hat before saying, I've already corrected the mistake of her magic mirror divination. It's been resolved now. Alright, look at that. Good chapter. Got a good resolution pretty quickly. No one got hurt. Good stuff. Chapter 87. That was a good chapter. I figured that was either going to take long or someone was going to walk in midway and go, what the fuck are you doing with this 16-year-old? But we're all good. Nothing like that happened. By the way, I know the overlay isn't LOTM themed. I promise I will, in time, figure out a wallpaper and stuff to do that with. But what do you guys think of this one? I thought it was a lot more fitting for the theme than the previous one I was using yesterday. Monster Bieber was my go. Yes, sorry. Whoa, sorry. My chat hadn't updated for a little bit, and now it all just kicked in, so I missed out a lot of stuff. Give me 2 seconds. Your voice acting. Thank you. I appreciate that, Milos. I try my best. Hey, Dr. Z, nice to have you. La Croissant, bonjour, monsieur. Comment ça va? One of my favorite chapters from the first volume. That was actually, I was just saying, that was a really good chapter. Sorry, I have a couple of things to get through, so I apologize. He almost lost control. That's why he was describing, almost like a monster, like Ray Bieber. That makes sense. Being called a clown is the greatest honor. Yes, fair enough, Romero. Klein walking out of the... Milo, stop. You can get away with saying that because you're underage too, bro. Even just reading that, I feel like the NSA is like watching me. What are you doing? Yeah, sorry. I've been looking at chat, Romero. I just like mine didn't update for some reason, and then like it updated with like 15 messages all at once. I don't know what the reason was. Even if someone had walked in, they wouldn't have seen anything. It was, that's true. Is that how the wall of spirituality works? I thought that was just like a metaphysical thing, so that like no one could, what's the right way to phrase this? So like no other energies or like no other soul could enter or whatever. I didn't think that meant like they couldn't see anything. I envisioned it more like a translucent wall than like a literal, opaque one. But you might be right, Dr. J. I don't know. I just didn't think of it like that. That might be the case. Am I going to pick up my Uber Eats 2-for-1 deal? 2-for-1 shawarma deal? Well, hey, I'm not sure if you saw this, Red Devil. If you guys have, I promise I'll get back to reading the chapter in a second. But Klarna and DoorDash are coming out with a partnership. If you guys don't know what Klarna is one of those buy now, pay later things. So like you can buy something now and then like finance the payments over like a couple of weeks or a couple months. So that means like people can now finance their like DoorDash order, which is wild to me. I don't know how that works, man. I don't know in what universe you're like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna finance my Uber Eats order. That sounds so wild to me. Spirituality is more energy barrier. Okay, that's what I thought too. I still think it stops sounds. It's not yep, okay, that's what I thought too, guys. I thought it was a spiritual wall. Will I be reading more after the exams? Bro, I'll be reading during the exams. What are you talking about? What, do you think I study? Listen, studying is doubting your own potential, okay? Don't do such things. Just, you go in there and you say, you gaslight yourself into saying it's all common sense, and then you walk in there, okay? You're gonna be great. Yeah, actually late stage, actually final stage capitalism. Holy shit, that's actually nuts. While the spirituality is very practical, it's soundproof, makes the inside blurry and keeps that could, I don't know. Yeah, I always envision it as like a translucent, transparent thing, but like if it might be like a opaque thing so that, you know, people can't see, or it gets very blurry or something. That might be the case. I didn't consider that. Yeah, that's cool. Sorry. Enough about everything else. All right, chapter 87. Has it really been resolved? Elizabeth asked in disbelief. Klein smiled and nodded. Yes, it wasn't too hard. That last part was a lie. He almost turned into a monster. Perhaps it was the fact that Klein had been calm and collected all this time, or perhaps he was her only ray of hope. Either way, Elizabeth didn't doubt him anymore. She patted her chest and sighed a sigh of relief. Thank you. You truly are a trustworthy gentleman. I was scared senseless just now. How is Selina? Is she fine now? She might remain unconscious for the next few minutes, but she's completely fine. Oh, 2 or 3 days of weakness is to be expected. Klein suddenly had a stern expression on his face as he asked, who taught her mysticism? Didn't he tell her about basic taboos? Keeping away mosquitoes is clearly the best. This is true. If she would, I don't know if she would start marriage plans, Romero, because she is underage, and we would have a court case, or, you know, he would be arrested. So I don't know if marriage is the right idea. Okay, cool thing sound. I never use them either, and I'm not lying to you. Do not ever use it, because I like you just never had the inclination for it, because I was like, if I want something, I'll just go grab it, no problem. And then one day I was like sick, and I just didn't have the energy, and so I downloaded Uber Eats because I just didn't even have it on my phone. Ordered it, and then I've started using it so much more ever since then. Because once you realize how easy it is, you want to do it more. You'll pay the extra price until you just never do it. You're like, well, like, I don't mind driving it. Like, presumably, unless you live in like a massive town with a lot of traffic or whatever, it's not that bad to just drive for like 5 minutes, grab your food, come back home, or like eat it there, no problem. Holy shit, like seriously, don't ever, like, just don't even download it, don't ever try. It's so bad. If you want, we can send you art of the character, and oh yeah, please, Milos, that'd be great. Yeah, send me stuff like that so that I can figure out how to make a more LOTM themed overlay and stuff. And yeah, again, like we were talking about this before. I want to start making videos on it. I can't yet, because I know so little. I can't make like a competent video, and I don't want to just be talking out of my ass. And despite what some people in my comments think I do, I don't like doing that. Okay. Where is she? Elizabeth straightened up a little bit more, like a student who had just been scolded by her teacher. She thought for a moment before saying, Selina once mentioned that her teacher is Hannes Vincent. She met him a year ago at the Divination Club. Hannes Vincent. Oh, this is the super popular divination dude, right? Like the one famous in Tingeon City? Oh, we've heard of this, but we never really talked to him. Yeah, seriously, Romero, don't ever use them. Like, just never download them. Never use it, because just don't, please. It'll save you so much money. Like, the problem is, they don't even, holy shit, I'm just getting off on a tangent on food deliveries here. I'm really sorry. I'll stop after this one. The problem is, it's not even that they charge you the delivery fees and stuff. It's that they actually mark up the cost of the food as well. And it's wild. So, like, seriously, don't ever download it. Thanks, Miles. On the surface, he didn't seem to teach anything questionable about magic mirror divination, but he's secretly been teaching dark divination. If I knew about this earlier, then I would have reported it to the captain and raided him earlier. Klein felt some regret as he asked in a deep voice, was he also the one who taught Selena mirror magic divination? Klein was left with a lingering sense of fear because this matter had nearly affected his sister, Melissa. Yes, but Selena had tried magic mirror divination a few times without any success. Today she told me that she had a peek at her teacher's hidden incantations and that there would be no problems. She was basically an expert at courting death. Klein massaged his temples to alleviate his headache. Do you still remember the incantation she recited? Well, although Vincent had not voluntarily imparted the dangerous knowledge to Selena, it's obvious he had been experimenting with it to extend an invitation to a mysterious unknown entity. This would be a problem sooner or later. It had to be dealt with quickly before it gets worse and becomes a problem for someone else. I have a feeling that he's going to tell this to Captain Dunn, and Captain's going to be like, okay, well, this is going to be your one solo mission that you have to do. So, because it's just one guy, we don't think he's a Beyonder, so like Klein should be able to handle this pretty easily, and then that should be his one solo mission, right? I remember a part of it. She recited it in Hermes. As you know, I was only exposed to Hermes just recently. All I remember is her using the terms revolve, spirit, creator, and grace. Creator, the true creator, many underground mysticism enthusiasts believe this is the ancient entity revered by many secret organizations. Yes, an entity that appeared 1,000 years ago during the early stage of the Fifth Epoch. Klein nodded amidst his thoughts and said, remember to ask Selena about the entire incantation after she wakes up. Then she finds an opportunity to tell me. Hey, Nightwalker. Hey, Light. Thanks for joining, guys. All right, Elizabeth replied without any reservations, but she immediately asked, feeling a little confused, Mr. Moretti, why don't you ask her yourself? I don't want to let Melissa know that I enjoy mysticism. Can you help me keep that secret? Klein asked in return. Elizabeth bit her lip, her eyes sparkling. Ooh, I think Elizabeth's starting to fancy Klein, mate. The true creator. My goat. I hope we get to learn something about, like, this. I will watch it. Oh, no worries at all. I appreciate you stopping by at all. Wait, where was I? Hold on. Yes, no problem, Melissa. Prefers machinery to mystery. She likes logic over instinct. Klein placed his hat in front of his chest and bowed gentlemanly. Thank you for your understanding. As for Selena, you do know that she's not someone who can keep a secret. A more accurate description is that she likes to share secrets with others, Elizabeth agreed. Yeah, unironically, yeah. I'm not even going to read that on stream, Croissant, because I'm going to get swatted. So I'm not going to read that, but yes, that is what he's doing. Klein put on his hat and for a moment before saying, remember to tell Selena after she wakes up that she suddenly fainted and shattered her mirror. I think her memory probably stopped at the point she began using the magic mirror divination. Seeing Elizabeth nod, he put on a stern expression and said once again, remember, be it divinations or trying other mysticism rituals, do not pray to any other entities other than the 7 orthodox divinities. You should immediately burn those kinds of incantations and stay far away from anyone disturbing those materials. No, I know he's not doing it on purpose. It's just, yeah, it's natural riz, yeah. All right, I think we're looking pretty good. He's not like Rudius. I totally agree. Oh my god, that I hate that show so much, and the reason is because the show is really good, but man, Rudius just makes it so hard to defend him. Like, holy shit, man, come on. If I hadn't noticed this in time, Selena would have turned into a monster or an evil spirit in 10 minutes, and everyone here would have been killed, myself included. Thinking about the ice-cold Selena in the mirror, Elizabeth had no doubts about what Klein had just said. He sighed and said with lingering fear, I understand. She sighed and said with lingering fear, I understand, and I'll remember. I'll also keep an eye on Selena. All right, go take care of Selena. Klein raised his black cane and walked towards the staircase. As he walked, his eyes became darker. He took out a single penny with his right hand and flicked it into the air. Selena is all right now. Selena is all right now. No matter how good the rest of the show is, absolutely, yeah. Like, the rest of the show is great. Like, I think the story writing is done really well. I think for isekai, I'm not, like, huge on isekais generally. Don't kill me for saying that while I'm reading this. It has, like, a really good story. It has a really good progression and stuff, but, oh my god, it's so, I actually feel, like, disgusting watching it. Like, I can't. Klein quickly repeated the description, then he caught the falling coin. He saw George III's face facing upwards. This was not a simplification of spirit dowsing. Instead, it was a simplification of dream divination. At that moment, Klein had forced himself into a state of sleep with the aid of cogitation, in order to take a tour through the spirit world. The heads and tails of the coin were symbolic manifestations. Heads represented affirmation, while tails indicated descent. Great, everything is fine now. Klein twirled the bronze coin in his hands happily. This was a simplification only a seer could accomplish. I agree. I think judging people is generally bad. However, I think there are certain things that a person should be judged for. I think there are like some societal things I get where you want to be like, hey man, it's like a personal choice, no problem. All right, I'm here. I'm all for it. But then there's some things that I think, hey, like a society should reinforce, like, hey, this is disgusting, and if you do this, just like we don't want you around us, okay? Like, just stop. Klein, just a chill engineering physics student, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he's an engineering or physics student in real life. As my instinct is that he's probably like a business major, because when he was talking about what do you call it? When he was talking about how businesses and the stock market and stuff works here, he was explaining in like really good detail that I think generally like a business or econ major would know. I don't know if like an engineering or physics student would know. I mean, if that's a spoiler and that's canonically true, then obviously I'm just wrong. But my instinct was when I was watching him, because he's a scammer, yes. Not because of when he was talking about how like what do you call it? How the stock market works? How like he mentioned a couple of phrases. I don't think it was like price to earnings, but I think he was talking about like bonds and stuff. So like that felt like someone who'd be a business or econ major. But again, yeah, he could be like a physics or engineering and then just be, competent at that other stuff too. Very possible. Where was I? Only when Klein vanished down the staircase did she turn to enter the bedroom. She saw Selena asleep on the ground with shattered pieces of the mirror beside her. She held her breath and tiptoed into the room. As she looked at the fragments of the mirror, she made sure that the ice-cold Selena was no longer present. Instead, the fragments were reflecting the ceiling. Phew! That put completely at ease, Melissa heaved a sigh of relief. Despite her efforts, she couldn't move Selena to the bed. Instead, she nudged her awake. Elizabeth, what happened to me? Did I get drunk? Selena asked weakly. The glow in her eyes had turned considerably dull while her eyes were filled with confusion. Elizabeth thought for a moment and replied in a serious tone. No, Selena. Something happened to you. Your magic mirror divination invited a malicious entity. Is that so? Selena weakly made her way to the bed with Elizabeth's help. She rubbed her temple and said, all I remember is that I started a magic mirror divination. It was confirmed in an interview once that he's a hardware engineer. I see. That might be the case. Yeah, I guess that I don't know. We sent the art in the artwork channel. Oh, thanks, Miles. Really appreciate it. I'll definitely take a look, and I'll try what I see, making different types of overlays, and then I'll put them in the Discord, see which one looks best, and then maybe switch through a couple of them. The point is that he's 1000x the person Rudius was. I don't know what it's with the isekai, but they make absolutely, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Like they make them like the worst person in the universe, or like the biggest loser possible, because they're like, oh well, you see, this is to help you. This is to show you that like even a loser like you can become competent if given the chance. It's like, bro, that's not what even if a person isn't doing great in their lives, they don't relate to that person. Because this is why, holy shit, I'm going to get off in another tangent. I'm so sorry. Okay, really quickly, and then I'm going to get back to reading, okay? It was like, there's a reason why if someone says like, hey, like you're average, you take that like really offensively, even though mathematically, statistically, most of us are average. Just, that's how stats work. But the reason that feels really bad is because you don't define yourself, you don't define yourself as like the stuff you're normal at. You define yourself as the stuff you've put effort into, and the stuff that you're on average a lot better at, right? So even if isn't having a great life, for them to be like, oh well, you see, I made the MC the biggest loser possible so that you can relate to him, is like, bro, what the fuck? I'm not that guy. ED445 in another world. all right. You should message that to a struggling mangaka in Japan. That would sell like hotcakes, bro. What was it? I was going to buy cupcakes, I think it was, right? You were a completely different person during the ritual. You in the mirror was completely different from the you in real life. I was very scared. Using the excuse of giving you a surprise, I brought you to the room before I snatched your mirror and shattered it onto the carpet. After that, you fainted. Blessed be the goddess, you're okay now. I don't remember anything. Selena muttered, her face pale. The more Selena tried to remember, the emptier her mind became, the more afraid she felt. Subconsciously, she glanced at the desk and noticed that the placement of the items were clearly different. Just what happened exactly? Selena tried hard to remember, but she could only faintly remember a man in black suit and hat. He was not strong or tall, but he had a straight back. He was not strong or tall. Oof. You saved her life and still get shit on. Selena, Elizabeth asked seriously, I met a mysticism expert when I went to the underground market to purchase the amulet. He said that we shouldn't pray to any entity other than the 7 orthodox divinities. Otherwise, we would be sure to invite disaster. Promise me, don't try this anymore. I don't even know if what I did could save you just now. Selena was scared senseless. No more. I'll never try this again. Alright. Hating Rudius is a hobby. But I need him to read. Yes, sorry, Amnesiac. I'm reading, I promise. A Rudius defender. Get him out of here. No shot. Okay. And just what did the incantation of your mysticism mean? If I have the chance to meet the mysticism expert again, I will ask him for you. Elizabeth asked, feigning nonchalance. Selena rubbed her temple and said, Spirit that involves this world, the grace of the true creator, the eyes that look at fate. What the fuck? Okay, so she was referring to the true creator. Interesting. Okay. Klein smoothly smoothed the caresses and tapped the dust off his clothes as he walked down the stairs. After that, he took off his hat and returned slowly to the long dining table. Where did you go? It's been nearly 10 minutes, Selena's brother Chris asked. Klein smiled and replied, to the bathroom, then upstairs to acquaint myself with the ladies. I appreciate your honesty, Chris praised. He saw the red hair and short build that ran in the family. He wore gold-framed glasses and had quite the personality. He was an exceptional lawyer. You wouldn't say that if you knew that I had knocked your sister unconscious upstairs. Jesus. Get back to work before I dock your wages. No, he's right. I feel I like talking about other stuff, and then I'm like, oh shit, dude, that's not what that's not what y'all are here for. In the area of we were merely engaging in an academic discussion in the area of mysticism. He put down his hat and returned to his seat. He received his 2 cards as the new round started. Flipping up the corner of his cards, he saw the King of Spades and the Ace of Diamonds. Holy shit, it looks like I became luckier. Is this payback for doing a good deed? Klein took out a coin in preparation to place his bet. Since Hannes didn't intentionally reveal the incantation to Selena, there's no need for me to urgently report this to the captain. Really? I would still report it. He continued his cautious playstyle in the following rounds, only betting when he had a decent hand. He didn't take any chances to bluff and didn't win much. When the game ended at 10:30, he had won 6 pence. 6 pence. 6 pence is fucking nothing. What? 6 pence, because a pound is 12 soli. A soli is 20 pence. Bro, he won fucking nothing. I won 2 soli and 8 pence, Benson fiddled. Nice, dude. I didn't expect you to be an expert at poker. No, I don't play often, but I know that this is the same as negotiation. You have to hide your cards and figure out the hidden cards that people have before using various means to scare or entice them. Benson hadn't finished his sentence when he saw Melissa and the rest coming down from the 2nd floor. I will say he is gonna be a good government worker. Like that's like a really competent. It's a little simplistic, but that's a really competent way to explain poker. I feel like he'd be really good at like a good government job if he got one. Is already like gold for them. Yeah, that's true, but like 6 pence, a pound is like gold to them, and a pence is fucking nothing. 6 pence? Pfft, nothing. I love that you're getting used to the economy. Thank you, Devil. Yeah. I'm good with numbers, so stuff like that I remember and can keep track of. Other stuff, not so much. It's time to go home, said Klein as he glanced at his sister and her friends while rubbing his temples. The throbbing pain in his head remained. After that, Klein went to the bathroom once more and took the opportunity to walk past Elizabeth and obtain the complete incantation. Returning to his siblings, he smiled and said, "Oh right, I suddenly remembered something. I need to head back to the company for a while. Shall we go to Zootland Street first? I'll be quick." I presume he's gonna either tell old Neil about the incantation or tell the captain about the Vincent. Vincent understands me. He knows how to gamble. Hey, brother, if you ever want to play poker, bring it, all right? We can play online poker. Yeah, gambling is the best. It's the only time I feel alive. God, that sounds like a miserable statement to say out loud. Good Lord. 88 on... Sorry, don't talk about gambling. Reminds me that I need to use real money to get the character. What is WAWA? Is that something I should know? Sorry. Oh, Wuthering Waves. I see. I did not play Wuthering Wave. I played a little bit, but not much. I don't know. Wait, you need to spend money to get the character? Like, as in you don't, like as in you don't have the, whatever the runes or whatever the fuck it is to summon? Or like the character comes in only in a pack? I presume the former, not the latter, because gacha games rarely have the latter. It's happened. I can't judge him for gacha games. I've been playing, I know you guys are going to hate me for this, but Solo Leveling Arise, the gacha game for solo leveling, really good. I played Bleach Brave Souls for years. I played not Solo Leveling, fuck me, Seven Deadly Sins. I can't remember what the name was. The Seven Deadly Sins one for a little while too. It was good. I don't have enough saved up for the new character, for the 2 new characters. I see, yeah. Yes, I know you guys don't like solo leveling. All right. But hey, that's why I feel so I feel so bad every single time. I go to post, I'm like, holy shit, these guys are gonna give me shit for it, because I've been posting so much solo leveling recently. Because it does well. And again, I like solo leveling, so you know what, whatever. Um, Sorry. Okay, back. Okay, fuck you guys are. All right, I'm getting off. I'm getting off topic here. Chapter 88, Report. What is it? Benson asked casually. Melissa looked at her brother with a serious expression because she felt that Klein's behavior tonight was strange as well. In fact, it only looked slightly more normal than Elizabeth's behavior, and later, Selena's. Does Soul Loving even have enough memorable character? Yes and no. You're totally right. It doesn't have too many, but you have to remember there were a lot of characters in Solo Leveling. They just never got any limelight. They just never got anything, whatever, right? They were just introduced as like a rank, B rank, C rank, S rank hunter or a national rank hunter, and then just never given anything else. There were plenty of characters. We just didn't get anything out of them. So there's a lot of characters. If any of you are interested, I'll go once I'm done reading today. I'll open the my Soul Leveling account and just show you how many characters there are. There's like a decent bit of characters. I agree. T-Beat should have gotten the Soul Leveling treatment. Sorry, I'm gonna keep reading. Klein chuckled as he long thought of an excuse and said there was a mistake in one of the document descriptions, and I already informed my colleagues that I would hand it over to them when I arrive early at the company tomorrow. So I can either amend it now since it's on the way, or I wake up at least half an hour earlier tomorrow morning. No doubt I've chosen the former. No wonder. I've had a nagging feeling that your mind wasn't in the game, so you were actually thinking about work. Benson smiled. No, I apologize. I should say the card game helped you think. All right. We shall wait for you. Melissa looked away and smoothed out the ruffles in her what the actual fuck is that word? Hold on. Engagement is a false sleeve worn with women's clothing. I see. Okay, I'm not gonna even pretend to figure out how to announce that word. Okay. As it was past the operation, time for both track and trackless public carriages, the three siblings bid farewell to the hosts before hiring a carriage nearby. It cost 2 soli for 45 minutes. I've read that every carriage driver that rents out their own carriage adds ridiculous fees. Benson complained in a low voice. He had used most of the money that he won earlier to pay the driver. Klein smiled and replied, I think it's very acceptable. After all, it's almost 11 o'clock. I was just joking. I thought that we could actually share the carriage with other guests. 45 minutes can take us to many places. Benson looked out of the window at other people who were hiring carriages one after another. I know, ride-sharing. Klein rubbed the top of his silver-inlaid cane and said, We don't have a problem with that, but the other customers might. Benson, did you notice that they care a lot about their image and looking respectable? I think that this might be common among middle class. This is absolutely true, yeah. They mentioned that the girl's, the birthday girl, Selena? Yes, Selena's brother was wearing gold glasses. For a middle-class family, that's nuts. But hey, you want to make sure that you look, even if you are middle class, you want to make sure you look like you're wealthy. Benson nodded seriously and said the Wood family was much more extravagant than I imagined. However, Wood's weekly salary is only about £4 per week. Looking respectable might be the biggest difference between middle class people and the curly-haired baboons. Yeah, T-Bait is absolutely cooked. Like, the anime hasn't even come out yet, and yet I don't even, like, I'm gonna make videos on it just to shit on it, but it's not great. I remember there being a lot of characters, but I never gave a shit about any of them. Absolutely agree. Yeah, it was mainly the summons. Yeah. I don't even like Che Hayin. Okay, that's blasphemy. I don't like that. I don't even remember any side characters. No, there were like a decent bit. Like, shit, I've made videos on like 4 of them in the past week or so. But I don't know what you put in the chat. Red Devil, hold on. What is this? I don't know what you put in the chat. I don't know what this is. Yeah, if you guys are interested, I'll open the account once I'm done reading, and I can show you. Like, there's quite a few characters. We just never felt anything about them, or like learned anything about them. It was just like, hey, this is S rank hunter who's like super strong, and then Sung Jinwoo just beats the shit out of him. Do you have something against curly hair baboons? Klein almost burst out laughing. Melissa didn't join on their discussion. She took a seat and sized up Klein from time to time. Her gaze was sending chills down his spine. I actually think she thinks that he's trying to hook up with Selena. The two-wheeled house carriage was traveling quickly in the dark, quiet street. They arrived at Zootland Street in only 12 minutes. Wait for me here 5 minutes. It won't be more than 5 minutes. Oh, the beginning before the end. Oh, the end before the beginning. Ah, very cute. Okay. Nice. Okay. Very clever, Red Devil. As the carriage driver was charging based on time instead of distance, the driver didn't mind waiting. Going up the stairs, Klein arrived at Blackthorn Security Company and knocked on the door. Within 10 seconds, the door was wide open. Leonard Mitchell appeared before him in a vest and shirt. You're not on duty tonight. Klein was only on guard once a week at the Chanis Gate. They maintained a regular work schedule for the rest of the time. As for emergencies that happened at night, they would be dealt with by the sleepless who enjoyed the night. However, this only getting 2 to 3 hours of sleep a day can cause baldness and memory loss. Whenever he thought about this, Klein couldn't help but ridicule Captain Dunn in his mind. I have something to report. Oh, dude, that's a immediate no-go against the sleepless in my book, dude. Holy shit. There are like 20 LOTM characters that would be peak main characters. Yeah, I think obviously we don't know too much about them, but like we know like for how relatively early we are into the book. We know like a decent bit about both Audrey and Alger. Like that's like we know a decent bit about them. That's kind of nuts. I have something to report, he replied simply. There's a mission? Leonard asked casually. When Klein entered the reception hall, he saw Dunn coming out back in his black windbreaker. His gray eyes were dark as usual. Captain, I came across an incident involving the supernatural. Give me the details. Oh, it was a joke about sleeplessness. I see, because Dunn was going bald. Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry, I thought it meant like consequentially, like, hey, even though you don't physically need to sleep, your hormone balance still kind of suffers for it, and then you start losing hair. But okay, it's just a bald joke. Okay, fair enough. Klein recounted the whole story from earlier and reported the steps that he took to deal with it. So I think there's a need to investigate Hannes Vincent. Back then, he believed that since the evil entity that was invited by the magic mirror divination hadn't caused a disaster, there was no indication he was in extreme danger. That meant that the entity probably still needed more time. It didn't want to awaken or possess Selena ahead of time. Therefore, as long as its goals were not exposed, the evil entity chose to observe the situation. Under such circumstances, it wasn't hard for Elizabeth to trick Selena to head to the entrance of the bedroom. You've done well. You seized the opportunity before the evil spirit fully materialized to possess her body completely. Dunn lifted his head and said lightly, let us take care of the follow-up investigation. You can head home to rest. Good shit. I like it. I'm gonna go pick up my shawarma. I hope to give me my food. It sounds good, Devil. Behind the mystery prior and the seer. Yeah, if I could choose any sequence 9, I would choose spectator. You can gossip at insane speeds. Nice. Yeah. So far, I think probably I think seer is best, at least from the ones I know so far. Or the one that the Emperor Roselle had. I can't remember the name offhand. Emperor Roselle's one I thought was also pretty good. Or maybe, hold on, no, let me pull it up. I can't remember. Not the sleepness, not the mystery prior, not the corpse collector. That sounds horrible. See, Alger. I don't. Alger's sailor sequence is okay. Sequence 9 spectators. Okay. Yeah, I think Emperor Roselle's. Sorry, I think Emperor Roselle's Savant is decent. Actually, no, I would probably go with level 9 Assassin. Can transform their bodies to be light as a feather, have vision equal to an eagle, dexterous steps, and ability to release all their strength in one blow. I feel like if you had to choose, or at least, sorry, if I had to choose a potion simply based on like, hey, I'm only ever going to get to level 9, I would probably choose Assassin. I think that one is probably fair. Savant, yes, thank you. No, I think I would just like, it's just like sheer, just it just makes you more buff, more dexterous, faster, stronger, better eyes. Like it just seems like it's like base stat level improvements, right? Like I feel like that would be, if I only had to get one, I would get that one probably. I don't know. Sleepless is, yeah, I guess it's kind of nice, but I mean, let's be honest. If what was the this was a only exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like if I had to, because I don't know too much about like their higher level sequences, so I'm saying if I only was able to get sequence 9 of any one thing and then never get a higher level sequence, I would probably go with that one. Again, I don't know anything about like sequence 7s or above or like anything like that, so I can't speak to that yet. There was a Theo Von joke. It was like, dude, do you understand? If I have 8 more hours in the day, there's no way I can get through the day without going to jail. Like, it's wild. And that's totally true. Like, if I have 8 more hours in the day, I am breaking some laws, okay? There's no, like, I'm not going to be like a good member of society anymore. I don't have, like, our bodies aren't equipped to handle that. I would go with Reader. I haven't read that one yet, so I don't know. Sequence 9 isn't Assassin? I thought it was. My notes say it was. Do I have this wrong? I thought it was level 9 Sequence, level 8 Instigator, level 7 Witch. No? Is that not what it was? I might have that wrong. There's a chance. Sorry, I'm gonna get back to reading. He's lacking sleep, yes. Okay. I thought you would make this my initiation mission and make me complete it alone. From the incantation that Elizabeth provided him, Hannes Vincent was certainly dangerous. That's because there's already an initiation mission for you, said Leonard. What? Klein was shocked. Dunn smirked and explained with his soothing voice. At around 7 tonight, the police station referred us a case. From our initial assessment, there doesn't seem to be any danger or urgency. So it was decided you would complete it on your own. All right, don't ask about the case. Rest well tonight and move your day off to Tuesday or Wednesday. It is sequence 9 Assassin. Oh, okay, yeah. Captain, doing that only affects my sleep. Plus, Monday afternoon is when my tarot gathering takes place. Do I need to send a postponement notification to Justice and Hanged Man? Klein shook his head and smiled bitterly. He then bade farewell and left. Exiting the stairway, he suddenly sensed something. He lifted his head to look towards the carriage that they had hired. Only Melissa looking at him silently through the window. When they made contact, Melissa suddenly looked away and sat properly. Oh, Melissa's like actually staring this man down. She's like, you bitch. Under the crimson moon and the pure night sky, the carriage moved quickly from down one street after another. When they returned home, Klein yielded the bathroom to Benson for his shower while he went to Melissa's bedroom and knocked twice. Melissa, who was planning to use the other bathroom, opened the door and looked at her brother suspiciously. Melissa, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask? I know you do. Don't observe me in silence. Melissa's lips trembled and creased her eyebrows. Klein, what did you do to Elizabeth? She seemed a bit off. And later on, Selena started acting very strange too. Do you know that Elizabeth and Selena are mysticism enthusiasts? Yeah, but I don't like it. I don't like that there's anything that can't be explained in this world. Melissa answered her question seriously after being momentarily taken aback. Anything that seems unexplainable is due to the fact that the knowledge we grasp is insufficient. Ah, a pure rationalist. Yes, I think so too. That's an actual engineering major. Yes, I think so too. Klein echoed her sentiments guiltily. I once thought so too, until I successfully courted death. He coughed lightly and continued. Mysticism involves Hermes, the language specifically used for the ancient worship, ceremonies, and prayers. Elizabeth knew that I am good at it. It is within a historian's domain, after all. So she asked me about the pronunciation of corresponding words and their actual meanings. Melissa nodded lightly, signifying her acceptance of her brother's explanation. It went according to her understanding of both parties. As for why Elizabeth and Selena became weird later on, I have no idea about the actual reasons. But I can make a guess. You managed to guess it, Melissa blurted out in shock. I could guess from the contents of what Elizabeth asked. The few Hermes words were related to divination as well as the worship of evil entities. Yes, when Selena did the magic mirror divination, did she recite in Hermes? Oh, whoa, that's really weird. Sorry, nothing with the book, just something that came up. I reversed instigator and assassin. I see. Okay, maybe I'm turning into Dunn. All good. My hairline is impeccable. That may be the case, but from my understanding, you're also very young. Give it time, young one. Mysticism can be explained. Just how? Yeah, I agree. It's different rules. Sort of like how what's the phrase? It's like in like physics or in chemistry, you learn the rules because you have to. And not because the rules work all the time in like physics and well, I guess physics is slightly different. Chemistry in particular, there are so many exceptions to rules, but you still need to know generalities. And I think it's kind of like that. Like at least their understanding of the world is like much more physical, and they don't understand the metaphysical yet. There are rules that govern it; they just don't know them. Once you figure it out, I think you should. Do that. You think I should view the art in Discord during stream? Yeah, I don't mind doing that. I will. Let's. Do you guys want me to do that at the end of this chapter or at the end of 90? I don't have a preference either way. I don't mind. He proactively brought that up in order to remind his sister to keep her guard up against similar situations. It would even be better if she could cut off contact with Selena and Elizabeth. That seems a bit extreme, dog. They're friends. I don't know. Yes, Melissa replied after a delay. I think I understand why Elizabeth and Selena were acting strange. Then Klein asked deliberately, as Selena's magic divination involved a wicked, illegal belief, perhaps Elizabeth found an opportunity to criticize and correct Selena's mistake after she clarified with me what the actual meaning of the Hermes that Selena used. I think so. Melissa didn't doubt the conclusion because she had made the same deduction herself. Klein let out a breath of relief upon seeing that he had successfully directed the flow of the conversation. In the future, it's best if you advise Selena to put her beliefs in the orthodox. Then he tapped the 4 spots on his chest just like the priest. Yes, I will. Melissa replied, and don't tell Elizabeth and Selena about our deduction or the things that I've said. I promised Elizabeth not to tell you. Okay, Melissa nodded lightly. On Monday morning at 8 o'clock in the Blackthorn Security Company, oh yes, he has the meeting today at 3 o'clock, so he's either got to postpone it or figure out a way to do it during the workday. Klein took off his hat and greeted Roseanne and Brett. After exchanging a few words, he entered Captain's office. He just pushed the door open and looked around. He suddenly had a shock because Dunn's face was pretty pale and his grey eyes looked clouded, without the usual darkness. What happened? Hannes Vincent? Klein asked in concern and shock. Dunn... Wait, what? He pushed the door open and suddenly was pretty pale. Interesting. Dunn rubbed his forehead, took a sip of coffee, and said with a bitter smile, Hannes Vincent is dead. What the fuck? Who killed him ahead of time? Klein sat before Dunn with his cane in his hand. I didn't answer immediately, but sighed and said, Leonard and I went to look for Hannes Vincent at night. As his usual behavior didn't show any unusual signs and there was nothing odd about his house, I decided to enter his dream to look for clues. In his dream, his eyes showed fear as Dunn repeated himself twice. That was when he said, In his dream, I saw a cross, a huge cross, one that blotted out the sky. On the huge cross, there was a naked man nailed to it with black nails. His arms and legs were pinned with his arms extended outwards. He was hung upside down. His head hung low like a chandelier. There were strips of bloody stains on his body. Upon seeing such a scene, I lost consciousness. I left Hannes Vincent's dream, and when I woke up, Leonard told me Hannes died in his sleep. Wait, hold on. Hold on. There was a guy. Yes, Saint Peter was. This reminds me of like the huge cross and the person, naked person nailed to it is obviously like a reference to like a crucifixion, obviously, or a crucifixion. Jesus Christ, obviously. But then the fact that he was upside down is Saint Peter was crucified upside down. I think the story of Saint Peter was something like, they were about to crucify him, and he said, "Oh, what an honor it is for me to be killed like my Lord." And so they said, "Oh, this is an honor for you," and they hung him and they crucified him upside down. So I'm wondering if it's kind of in reference to that. Sorry, I'm gonna read your comments. Okay, do it at the end of chapter 90. Sounds good, Miles. I'll do it then. Chemistry rules that apply to everything. Nothing. Yeah, unironically, chemistry is it's like 10 pages of rules and then 85 pages of fucking exceptions to those rules. It's a joke. Physics is mad. Electrons are the opposite of ghosts. If you look at them, they disappear, but if you don't, they disappear. Yeah, that's actually true. That reminds me of like a joke that I heard. So I can't remember where I heard this, but it was like during the COVID time when people were like, "Oh no, like the vaccine is like bad or whatever." It was like, dude, do you understand how fucking fragile mRNA is? Like, mRNA is so fragile, you can make it, leave it in perfect condition, walk out the room, and then say something bad about it, and it'll just shatter because its self-esteem is so fucking low. Like that's what it is. Like, it's so immaterial. It's so wild. Reality is wilder than fiction sometimes. Absolutely. There is shit that exists in this world that, like, that if you saw it in a movie, you'd be like, that seems exaggerated, bro. Let's calm down. It's wild. I was good at physics at the start, but fell off. I was great at. I never took physics, so I can't speak to my abilities. I was decent at chemistry in grade 11, and then when I took a grade 12, shit fell off a fucking a cliff, bro. My grade was so bad. Studied quantum physics in my free time, but then I felt like I was going mad, so I switched majors, studied medicine, and never looked back. Nice. Absolutely. Plus, yeah, no, medicine I feel like is a lot, yeah, because you're a lot more closer to the source, right? And I feel like our brains just handle physical stuff so much better than metaphysical, because like we're made to handle stuff that we can touch and see and react to. But I know what you mean, Dr. Z. Where the fuck was I? Huge cross hung upside down and the man covered in bloodstains. It's similar to some of the stories of the true creator that some of the hidden organizations believe in, but there are considerable differences. The few hidden organizations that believed in the true creator had only appeared in the last 2 or 3 centuries, such as the Aurora Order, the Iron and Blood Cross Order. So this definitely has something to do with the Iron and Blood Cross Order. However, such depictions had never disappeared over the past 1,000 years. Dunn rubbed his forehead again. We'll follow up on this. As for you, go ahead and complete your initiation mission first. At least there's someone who appreciates the mRNA joke. I as I was saying it, I was like, dude, this is such a niche joke. I don't know if anyone's going to appreciate this. Glad to know there's someone. Oh, God. Chapter 89, A Simple Mission. Klein nodded and said, "All right. But I still don't know what my mission is. Nothing dangerous. I haven't seen any signs of danger at the very least," Dunn emphasized. "This is a case that was referred to us by the Golden Indus Police Department. The famous philanthropist Sir Deweyville has been experiencing unusual harassment over the past month. Be it his bodyguards, his security guards he has employed, or the police, none of them have been able to find the culprit. Inspector Toll, who is in charge of the case, suspects that it involves a beyonder powers and thus handed the case over to us. I saw Sir Deweyville at the library the other day and noticed he was feeling down and lethargic, so it was a result of being harassed." Klein knitted his brows and asked, "What kind of harassment?" "There hasn't been any physical harm inflicted yet, thus the harassment wouldn't be considered dangerous. Sir Deweyville hears moans and cries every night, no matter where he is, be in Tingen or not. This has affected his sleep quality negatively." Dunn flipped the notes in his hand. He has seen a psychiatrist and has asked his butlers and servants to confirm that it was not an illusion. Having confirmed that it isn't a hallucination, thus it is suspected that someone is harassing him. Closing the file, Dunn looked up at Klein. Change into your probationary inspector uniform in the break room. Then meet Inspector Toll, who is in charge of the case at the shooting club. He'll provide you with more details." Probationary inspector uniform?" Klein asked. Dunn rubbed his forehead and smiled. "Half of our salaries come from the police department, and the title of probationary inspector doesn't merely belong in the records. When you met Leonard and I for the first time, we were also wearing our uniforms. This is a perk held by fully official members. Yes, the perks, as Emperor Roselle would call it." Interesting. Quantum physics, easier to understand how it works, but when you give me some resonance structures in chemistry, I die. Yeah. Don't, you're giving me flashbacks here. I can't even. I'm trying to think of a joke, but my PTSD is kicking in way too much, Romero. "Unfortunately, I can't wear it as a casual outfit. Otherwise, I'd be able to have another spare outfit when my clothes are being washed." Klein picked up his cane and bid farewell before leaving the captain's office. He headed towards the break room and saw a black and white checkered uniform, complete with leather boots, placed on the table. The uniform's peak cap was embroidered with the logo of the police department. 2 crossed swords and a crown. Located on the shoulder was a black and white epaulet with a shimmering silver star. "This is a probationary inspector uniform?" Klein glanced at the uniform and noticed a string of numbers under the silver star. 6254. Chemistry PTSD. It's unironically a real thing, man. I'm not even kidding. He had some understanding of the police rank structure under the Leon Kingdom. He knew that those at the top were Minister and the Chief Secretary of the police force. Under them were the respective commissioners, Deputy Commissioner, Assistant Commissioners of the various police departments. Those in the middle were superintendents and inspectors, while those at the very bottom were sergeants and constables. After closing the door, Klein took off his suit and hat before changing into the uniform. He hung his suit up and left the room. He made his way into the clerk's office and looked at himself using the full-body mirror that Roseanne brought him. The young man in the mirror had black hair with gentle brown eyes. The uniform on his body accentuated him with a heroic spirit. "Not bad," Klein praised himself narcissistically. He left his cane in the office and left the Blackthorn Security Company. Inside his pockets were a full set of equipment, ranging from weapons to the police badge. At the hall of the shooting club, Klein met Inspector Toll immediately, since he was the only one in police uniform. Of course, there's me too. There were 2 silver stars on the epaulet of Inspector Toll's uniform. His clothes were propped up by his stomach, and he had a thick blonde mustache. His frame was tall but not imposing. Perhaps it was imposing in the past. Ah, big man. Today the Octave roll. He is a Nightwalker. Nightwalker, good to have you back, buddy. Alright, I think you missed, give or take, 2 chapters, I think. I think you left around the start of 87, if I'm remembering right. The guy from the... is there a guy named Nightwalker in the X-Men? Moretti. Klein Moretti. Inspector Toll noticed Klein and welcomed him with a smile. Hello, Inspector Toll. I believe that you have the right person. Klein replied amicably. Then he followed his memories. He raised his right hand, kept his fingers straight and tight before saluting. Toll chuckled. I can tell that you'll be a young man who's easy to get along with. That's good. Shall we head off to Sir Deweyville's place now? Even though he was a higher rank than Klein, the tone in his query was obviously friendly. No problem. Klein thought for a moment before he said, you can fill me in on the details of the case on the carriage. Sure. Toll stroked his thick blonde beard and guided Klein out of the shooting club. They boarded a carriage which was stopped on the other side of the road. There was the 2 swords and a crown, police emblem on the carriage, and when it came with the personal carriage driver, I see. I hate acidic derivatives? Bro. Okay, I think your guys' understanding of chemistry is certainly like an order of magnitude more sophisticated than my own. But then again, crawling is alright, Milos. Milos is just having his own conversation. God bless him. Sir Deweyville is a believer of the goddess, so we referred the case to you, Toll said quickly as he sat down. I know. The fine knight is a common figure on the covers of newspaper and magazines. Klein flashed a friendly smile. Toll picked up the document docket beside him and removed the seal before taking out the materials inside. As he flipped through them, he explained, regardless, even if you are aware of it, I need to provide you with a detailed briefing. Sir Deweyville is one of the richest tycoons in Tingent City. He built his career beginning with a lead and porcelain factory. It has now expanded to steel, coal, shipping, banking, and bonds. He's a great philanthropist that has been praised by the king, having set up the Deweyville Charity Foundation, the Deweyville Trust, and the Deweyville Library. He was also knighted 5 years ago. If he were willing to run for mayor, I don't think anyone in Tingent City could contest with him. But Blackling is his goal. He wants to be a member of parliament. We once suspected that the harassment might be related to this, but we have no clue to this date. Klein nodded slightly and said, we can't rule out the possibility. There's nothing to confirm that suspicion as of now. Toll didn't dwell on this point. He continued, from the 6th of last month, Deweyville has heard painful, skin-numbing moans every night when he sleeps, akin to a patient's fight for his life. He has checked the surrounding rooms multiple times, but he hasn't found anything unusual. His butlers and servants have also confirmed that they heard such sounds, but it is simply softer for them. Wait, they're hearing it too. Interesting. So, if it's beyonder, it's more like an AoE effect than a specifically targeted one. Interesting. Hold on. Hold on. By promising a pleasant surprise and performed a ritual. Yes, you did indeed miss that part. Good lord. Yes, you did indeed miss that part, Nightwalker. It was, you described it a little oddly, I will say, but yes, yes, you did miss that. I don't understand chemistry, so I can't engage in the conversation. No, trust me. Here's the cool thing, Milos. No one really understands chemistry. Cool, really cool thing. All right, I will use this everywhere. That was the best part. Good lord. Yeah, it was a great part because we all read it, then we started shitting on Rudius from Mushoku Tensei for a little bit. It was great, yeah. You might have read Master of Uncertainty. Great. I go back and enjoy that part. Okay, sounds good. All right. I gotta say, you guys are so dedicated. Holy shit. Hold on. Where? Yes. In the beginning, Sir Duville believed that this matter would pass quickly and didn't pay too much attention to it. But the moans became more and more frequent to the point of occasionally happening during the day. There was even the addition of heart-wrenching cries. This has made Sir Duville lose sleep time and time again. He had no choice but to leave Tingen to his villa in the villages, but it was to no avail. The moans and cries persisted. Similarly, the phenomenon persisted even in Blackland. Just that it wasn't as serious. He employed security guards to check the surroundings, but they didn't find any clues. Our preliminary investigation also came up with nothing. Sir Deweyville, who has been tortured for more than a month, is on the brink of collapse. He's visited psychiatrists time and time again, but was unable to have his problem solved. How the fuck would a psychiatrist help if other people are also hearing it? What are we talking about? Casually going back in time, yeah. Alright, no worries, Milos. Have a good dinner, bud. I hope to see you in a little bit. Alright, we'll get through 2 more chapters, and then we'll review the art on Discord. And then and then I will show you guys all the characters in Solo Leveling Arise. I haven't forgotten. Hold on. He visited psychiatrists time and time again, but was unable to have his problem resolved. He told us that if this problem is not resolved within a month, he would leave Tingen and head to Blackland. He believes there would be people there who can help him. After listening to Toll's explanation, Klein quickly analyzed and came up with a few possibilities. He offended a Beyonder and is suffering from a curse? No, if he was suffering from a curse, servants and butlers wouldn't hear the same things. There's a Beyonder with unknown motives among his bodyguards and servants. Possibility. But the problem stems from the fact that there has been no requests. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Perhaps Sir Deweyville accidentally came into contact with a vengeful spirit. That can't be ruled out. The carriage entered the Golden Indus Burrow while Klein was still deep in thought. It stopped at the door of Sir Deweyville. A steel fence surrounded in a lush garden. There were 2 statues by his side of the hollowed metal gates, a magnificent fountain that showered a marble sculpture with water, an expansive 2-story building, as well as a path wide enough to fit 3 carriages. Holy shit, that's a wide driveway. Even the knight's house is only 2 stories high. The newspaper reported that Blackland is experimenting with building 10-story apartments. Whoa, that's cool. Klein got off the carriage and saw a sergeant with 3 chevron stripes walking over briskly. He looked at Klein and saluted. "Good morning, sir." "Good morning." Toll smiled. "This is Sergeant Gate. You can tell him if you need anything. This is Probationary Inspector Moretti, a history and psychology expert from the police department," Toll introduced. "I don't deserve such a title." Wait, hold on. So he's an inspector. What were the ranks again? I didn't write this down. Fuck. Should I have? Hold on. Inspector shouldn't a sergeant be above an inspector? Not there. No. Minister, Chief of Secretary, Commissioners, Deputy Commissioners, Assistant Commissioners. In the middle were Superintendents and Inspectors. At the bottom were Sergeants and Constables. Ah, I see. So he does outrank him. Interesting. Okay. Sorry. That was just something I was interested in. Okay. Oh, Romero. Okay, you can eat at... Don't people not in Serbia... Interesting. You eat at the table with your family. I think that's. I feel like that's pretty common around most of the world. But again, different families are different. So In my house, we generally eat together during, like, on the weekends because we're all home and stuff. But, like, because our schedules vary so much during weekdays, we generally don't eat together during the weekday. Dinner sometimes, just depends. Like, I normally don't eat with everyone else because I am up so late. I don't eat when they have dinner. But yeah, it depends. All right. Okay, what did I miss? I don't deserve such a title. After the greetings, Gabe pointed to the two-story building behind the fountain and said, Sir Deweyville is waiting for us. All right. Klein caressed the revolver at his waist. This was his best bet against an enemy. Since he was in a police uniform, he could put his revolver in a holster at the hip, making it easier to draw. As they spoke, the trio made their way down the path around the fountain and arrived outside the door. By then, the door was already opened by a servant who was waiting politely at the sight. As Klein pretended to adjust his hat, he tapped twice on his glabella to activate his spirit vision before entering the house. The square-faced Sir Deweyville was massaging his forehead in the hall. He was clearly low in spirits. His blonde hair and blue eyes were either dry or dull, as though he had aged considerably by at least 5 years. Good lord. Good morning, Sir Deweyville. Klein, Toll, and Gate bowed at the same time. Sir Deweyville stood up and forced a smile. Good morning, officers. I hope that you can resolve what has been causing me distress. At that moment, Klein squinted and slightly knitted his brows. Other than low spirits, Klein couldn't identify other problems with Sir Deweyville. That's odd, he thought for a moment before he said, Sir, in which room did you first hear the moans? My bedroom, Sir Deweyville shook his head. Can we take a look? Haven't you checked it many times? The middle-aged butler interrupted. It was clear that he didn't notice that Klein was a partner of the kind-hearted soul that had not pocketed the money that he picked up. What the fuck? That Klein was a partner of the kind-hearted soul. I don't get that expression. Hold on. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Whatever. It's not that important. Now that it's Ramadan, everyone eats inevitably together. Right, yeah, of course. In Persian culture, eating alone is no way formal. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, because you got, Ramadan, wait, oh yeah, I guess it's not too late for you right now. Wait, hold on, I just realized, if you're participating in Ramadan and you were in my stream at like, I want to say, I think you said like 2:30 for you? Something like that, like a while back? There's no way you, I thought you were staying awake that late, but wait, you woke up that early to like take a shower and everything and like eat in the morning? Holy shit. It was clear that he didn't notice that Klein was the partner of the... sound. Thank you. Yes, when Old Neil did that ritual to get £30, to pay off the debt. Thank you. Yes, I see. I know. Okay, thank you. Klein smiled, composed. Those were my colleagues, not me. Sir, this is an expert by the police sent by the police agency. Sir Deweyville looked at the young expert. All right, Cullen, take him to my room. Sir, I hope that you will come with us, Klein said seriously. Deweyville hesitated for a second before saying, if that can resolve the problem. He grabbed his cane as he spoke. He made his way feebly to the staircase with his butler, Cullen, and several guards beside him, ready to support him if needed. Klein surveyed the surroundings as he followed behind him silently. One step, 2 step, 3 step. They arrived at the second story and master bedroom. Klein didn't have the time to survey the building when the hair on his body stood on their end. This was feedback from his spiritual perception. Oh yes, you're right. Yeah. You guys pray, I apologize if I get this wrong. I think it's 5 times a day. Wow. Wow. That is true discipline. All right, chapter 90. All right, let's get this done. My throat is it's better than it has been in days, so this is good, but it's not great. Good. Yeah, 5 times. And then no, I could never, Ramiro. I feel the sentiment. Yeah. What time is it for you right now, Dr. Z? Sorry, Chapter 90, Findings by Sight. Sir Deweyville's bedroom was larger than the living room and dining room of Klein's house combined. It was partitioned into a place for a bed, a living space, a changing room, a bathroom, and a study desk and bookshelf. It's 10 p.m. Dr. Z, don't you need to go to bed? When are... Like, I mean... You have to get up before sunrise. I don't know what sunrise is in... I think you said you're from Iran? It might be Iraq, but I think you said Iran. I don't know what time sunrise is, but like... I presume it can't be that late. Like, don't you need to sleep? Good lord. Sorry, I'm getting so off track. I apologize to everyone else, but I'm just really curious. But to Klein, the light seemed dimmer and the temperature was several degrees colder than the outside. At the same time, he seemed to hear the sound of sobbing and moaning, as though one was putting up a last-ditch struggle. I was asleep after praying again. I see. We stay up until 8 a.m. for the other guy's stream. Wait, where are you from, Kami? I go to bed at like 12, wake up at 12 unless I have to do so. You're telling me you sleep for 12 hours straight, Milas? Klein was in a trance and everything suddenly returned to normal. The sunlight shone brightly through the window and poured over the entire bedroom. The temperature was reasonable, neither too high nor low. The surrounding policeman, bodyguard, and butler were quiet. No one spoke. Central Europe. 7 p.m. See, that's not so bad. I wake up at 3 a.m. for LT. Wait, Ramiro, where are you from? Because the other guy streams at like 7-ish my time. 3 a.m. Oh, no, you're just... Oh, you've told me this. Sorry, I apologize. I know where you're from. Hold on. Oh, no work means messing up the sleep schedule. I see. Fair enough. I don't really... My sleep schedule has been set for years, and it's just... My sleep schedule... I go to sleep at like 12:30, and then I wake up at like 6:30. That's my... Yeah. Hold on. Oh my god, I keep losing where I am. Okay, Klein was in a trance, and everything suddenly returned to normal. The sunlight shone brightly through the window and poured... over the entire bedroom. The temperature was reasonable, neither too high nor low. The surrounding policemen, bodyguards, and butlers were quiet. No one spoke. He looked sideways at the classic yet luxurious bed. He felt there were pairs of blurry eyes lingering in the shadows, like the moths that fearlessly stayed around gas lamps. Taking a few steps closer, Klein lost the earlier image from the spirit vision. Not a standard wraith or evil spirit. What is it exactly? Klein frowned and recalled the mysticism knowledge he had been learning all this time. I said I go to bed at 12, not that I fall asleep at 12. Fair enough. Not that a standard wraith or evil spirit. From what he had seen, the mission had been easy if it was passed to a corpse collector, gravedigger, or spirit medium. It was obviously not within his domain of expertise. Holding back his urge to use divination as an investigative approach, Klein looked around slowly to look for other traces to confirm the few guesses on his mind. Yes, I forget. Like, so, yeah, because I generally, because I'm so tired by the time I go to bed, I pass out, like, the second I hit the bed. Hey, you're back, Devil. Good to have you. Inspector, Sir Deweyville hesitated. Did you discover anything? If it were that easy, I believe my colleagues wouldn't have waited until now, Klein replied. Just as he planned to retract his gaze, he suddenly saw there was a faint white figure standing reflected behind Sir Deweyville in the mirror. No, there were many figures overlapping each other, resulting in a white, distorted figure. The figure flashed by, and Klein seemed to hear faint sobbing. Whew! He let out a breath to release his nerves, having almost drawn his gun out of fright. Heightened spiritual perception with spirit vision will one day scare me senseless. Klein tried to relax his tense nerves by joking around before redirecting his focus back on Sir Deweyville. This time he saw something different. Now that he was in the bedroom, Sir Deweyville had a faint and twisted figure shimmering around him. It even dimmed the lighting of that area. Every flash was accompanied by an illusory cry and moan that could hardly be detected by an ordinary person. Cool down room. Hold on. Sorry. He had an initial judgment for the case. It was resentment that was hounding Sir Deweyville. It was the remnant of spirituality that resulted from unresolved emotions before a human's death. If such feeling of resentment stayed in this world over a long period of time, they would become a terrifying, wrathful spirit and becoming stronger. Sir Deweyville was a famous philanthropist. Even Benson, who was a picky person, was in awe of him. Sorry. Why would he be bogged down by the resentment of the dead? Is he actually two-faced? Could it be the means of a beyonder with nefarious intentions? I mean, maybe, but it could also just be like, you know, someone he felt that he should have done better by. It doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad person. Klein guessed the possibilities suspiciously. After some thought, he looked at Sir Deweyville and asked, Honorable Sir, I have a few questions. Please ask. Deweyville sat down wearily. Klein reorganized his thoughts and asked, when you leave here to go to a new place, such as the village of Blackland, do you temporarily get at least half a night worth of peace before the situation resumes and gradually worsens? Even when you sleep during the day, are you able to hear the moaning and sobbing sounds? Wow, those are some specific questions. Good Lord. Deweyville half closed his eyes, suddenly widened as his deep blue eyes were beaming with hope. Yes. Did he find the root of the problem? Only then did he realize that due to the extended period of insomnia and poor mental state, he had completely forgotten to inform the police about such an important clue. Seeing that Klein's question had uncovered something useful, Inspector Toiled relaxed. He knew that the Nighthawk had found a clue. Sergeant Gate was surprised and curious too. He couldn't help but look closely at the psychology expert, Klein. It coincided with the traits of gradual entanglement with the feature of accumulation. Having received feedback, Klein had basically confirmed the cause. What? Then he saw two ways of helping Sir Deweyville to shake off the burden. One was to set up an altar directly around the man and remove the resentment of the dead, using ritualistic magic. The second was to use other mysticism measures to find the root and solve it from there. The first obviously seems a lot easier than the latter, but I don't know. Hold on. I've done calculations. Will save me $9 for these 2 runs. Buying 2 more in store would be $29, and getting 2 for 1 on Uber Eats with delivery. It's the same. Interesting. There are times when, because they have like really good coupons, it can be cheaper, but the coupons are, I was mentioning this to the other guys before, the coupons are loss leaders, man. They get you to see like, oh, how cool it is, and like how much time you save and how easy it is to order, and then you end up ordering at full price. It just goddamn sucks. Holy shit. Taking into consideration the rule of preventing commoners from learning of beyonder powers to the best of his ability, Klein planned on attempting the first attempting the second method. That makes sense. Only if it failed would he pray to the goddess. Sir, yours is a psychological illness, a mental problem. He spoke nonsense with absolute seriousness. Are you telling me that I'm a mental patient and I need to enter an asylum? No, nothing that serious. Actually, most people have psychological problems to one degree or another. Please allow me to introduce myself again. I am a psychological expert from Iowa County Police. Psychological expert? Deweyville and his butler looked at the Inspector Toll. Toll nodded seriously and confirmed it was true. All right. What do you need of me for my treatments? Besides, I don't understand why my butler, bodyguards, and servants hear the sobbings as well. I will explain it to you after it's resolved. Please, tell your butler, your servants, and your bodyguards to leave. Inspector Toll, Gate Sergeant, please leave as well. I need a quiet environment to begin the initial treatment. A treatment with magic? Inspector Toll added in his heart and nodded at Sir Deweyville. Deweyville fell silent for more than 10 seconds before saying, Cullen, take them to the living room on the second floor. Yes, sir. Cullen didn't retort since the request was made by a police officer and a psychology expert. After watching them leave the room one after another, closing the door behind them, Klein looked at Deweyville, who had dark blonde hair and blue eyes, and said, Sir, please lay down on your bed. Relax and try to sleep. All right. Deweyville hung his coat on the clothes rack before walking slowly to the side of the bed and laid down. Klein drew the curtains, turning the room dark. He took off his pendant and quickly used spirit pendulum to determine any dangers. Then he sat on the rocking chair near the end of the bed, traced a spherical light in his mind, and entered cogitation. Then he leaned against the back of the chair and fell into a deep sleep, allowing for his astral projection to make contact with the external world. He was using the technique of dream divination to let himself be in the spiritual environment like he was dreaming, so as to communicate with each and every resentment that plagued Sir Deweyville. Only communication would be able to give him an answer and solve the problem. Whoosh! A sad sob reverberated in Klein's ear, and he saw that the white translucent figures were floating around him. The scammer aura. It's working. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Klein when entering a fucking lying contest. Nah, I'd win. A painful groan echoed as Klein, who barely regained his mental processes, extended his right hand and touched one of them. Suddenly, the figure swarmed at him like moths darting towards a fire. The image before Klein's eyes suddenly turned blurry, and his brain seemed to cleave in two. Half of his mind was calmly observing, while the other saw a mirror. In the mirror, there was a young girl dressed in worker garbs. She looked strong and fit as she walked in dust-covered factory while her head throbbed in pain. Her eyesight occasionally turned blurry, and her body became skinnier by the day. He seemed to hear someone calling her Charlotte, and the voice said that she had a hysterical illness. Hysterical illness? He looked towards the mirror and saw that she had a faint blue line on her gum. Alright, sorry guys, give me 2 seconds. I was really trying to make it to the end. I have had to pee for like an hour. Holy shit. I'll be back in literally 2 seconds. I apologize. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. There was another girl, and she was depressed. She was walking around the street in a daze, to the point of having a speech impediment. She had a very bad headache, and she had a blue line on her gums. She would also convulse from time to time. She met a doctor, and the doctor said, "Lafayette, this is the result of lead poisoning." The doctor looked at her with pity and saw her convulse again. She twitched continuously, and the doctor saw that her eyes had lost all light. Many images appeared before Klein, and he remained immersed within them and calmly observed. Suddenly, he understood the plight of the girls. The female workers had been in extended contact with white lead. They had all died of lead poisoning as a result of long-term exposure to the dust and powder. Sir Deweyville had a lead factory under his name, and also 2 porcelain factories. All of them hired comparatively cheaper female workers. Klein saw all of that in silence and felt there was something that had still not been clarified. Such death resentment was insignificant. They could not cause reality or have any effect on Deweyville, even when they accumulated, unless there was a more powerful and stubborn resentment that united them all. Just then he saw another girl. The girl was no more than 18, and she was glazing the porcelain in the factory. "Haley, how are you doing lately? Do you still have a headache? If it gets too serious, remember to inform me. Sir Deweyville has informed rule that people with severe headaches cannot continue being in contact with lead and must leave the factory." Haley touched her forehead and replied, "Just a little. I'm okay." The girl clearly just wanted her paycheck because she can't live without it, and she's gonna die because of it. Ah, shit. Tell me more if it gets any worse," the elderly lady exhorted. Haley agreed. When she returned home, she massaged her forehead from time to time. She saw that her parents and brothers had returned, but their faces looked hopeless. "Your father and brothers lost their job," her mother said as she wiped her tears. Her father and brother hung their heads low and muttered, "We will try to get some work at the harbor, but we don't even have bread money for the day after tomorrow. Maybe we will need to move to Lower Street." Haley's mother looked at her with reddened eyes. "When are you getting your pay? It's 10 soli, right?" Haley massaged her head again. "Yes, Saturday. Jeez. She didn't say anything else and remained as quiet as usual. She returned to the factory the next day and told her supervisor that her headache recovered and she felt fine. She smiled and walked 5 kilometers to and from work daily. She massaged her head more and more frequently. "You haven't found another job?" Haley couldn't help but ask her father and brother while looking at the soup, which was boiling with black bread. "The economy is in a recession. Many places are retrenching. Even the harbor jobs are sporadic. I can only get 3 soli and 7 pence a week." Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Haley sighed and fell into her usual silence. However, she hid her left hand that was twitching suddenly. Fuck. Okay, so she's getting lead poisoning. Jesus. Oh my God. This is harrowing to read. Good Lord. On the second day, she walked to work again. The sun was shining brightly and the street grew busier and busier with pedestrians. Suddenly, she started convulsing all over. She fell to the side of the road, foam spewing out of her mouth. Fuck. She looked up into the sky, and her gaze turned into a blur. She saw people walking past and others getting close. She saw a carriage pass by with the Deweyville family emblem, with a white dove with its wings spread as if it was ready to take off. She tried hard to open her mouth, but she couldn't make a sound, so she didn't say a thing. Quiet as ever. But the difference this time was that she was dead. Holy shit. That is harrowing to read. Yeah, dude. This and way worse have happened. It's fucking crazy, man. It's like actually wild to read. Fuck. Okay. That is, yeah, my God. Oh, that is so hard to read. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have, I don't know what to say there. I'm like actually at a loss for words. Yeah, like this was a thing that happened, and it wasn't even like particularly uncommon. It's just there was no worker regulations, there was no understanding of safety, there was no real even understanding of what like, yeah, they understood that like being in contact with lead would cause lead poisoning, not exactly fucking rocket science, but yeah, like they didn't understand, like there was no masks, there was just nothing. Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, Benson did raise his siblings in a society like this and raised them to like, hey, they both went to school, and like, you know, they both graduated. He made sure that they grew up okay, even though like I'm sure his life has just been fucking dog shit for forever basically. But he made sure that like, hey, even if my life sucks, by the time they get to be working adults, they'll be like put together, and you know, they don't have to live lives like this. Just crazy to think about. All right. Yeah, let me pull up the Discord. All right. Still, yeah, it still happens to an extent, but I think the level of like there's a lot of worker, you know, rights now. There's a lot more safety regulations and stuff like that. There's a lot more at least avenues you can go to if companies are breaking those rules. Obviously, exploitation still happens. There's no way like around that. But yeah. Oh God. History is like, it's so difficult to read when you read the nitty gritty of it, and not just like high level stuff. Because you go like, what's that fucking Stalin quote? One death is a tragedy, a million deaths is a statistic, and it's just true. It's like once numbers get big enough, there's just numbers on a page, right? Or but like you think about individually, and it's like those are people with, you know, lives and families and people who care about them. Wild stuff. Yeah. Wow, these are some real high quality images. I like it. Yeah, I can probably stack these, so I can do like this one on the sorry, just to give you guys a image of my OBS page. So like on the right hand side where the chat is, I can probably put Klein's image in the background of that, so that it's covering up his thing, and then more like a wider portrait that would that I can put on the side. The Nighthawks team. Cute. Oh, that's a really good image. Audrey and Susie. By the way, seriously, thanks guys for doing this and for labeling them, because fuck me, I would have not known who any of these are. Thank you guys. Both Milos and seriously, like everyone. Holy shit, everyone. Romero, Amnesia Man. Thank you so much. Klein hot version. What the fuck? Do you think I'm doing thirst traps here? What do you think I'm doing, Milo? The guy who betrayed the Nighthawks. I don't know if this is... I don't know if I know about this yet. Oh, no. This was mentioned. Yeah, sorry. This was mentioned. Yep, you're right. Klein. Zoom and grew. Joe. Klein at the start when he had no money. Oh, this is really dope. Holy shit, this would have been so... Oh, this... Okay, this. I think this is going to be good. I really like this one. Yes, that's really good. Emperor Roselle? Yeah, Roselle. Okay. The true... the true creator. The thing dance on in Vincent's stream. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of St. Peter. Oh, this might actually be a good background image for the chat too. Yeah, that's absolutely true. A lot of the just lower, I don't know how to phrase this correctly, but like a lot of the lower productivity jobs just get sent to other parts of the world where there's a lot less safety regulations, and as such the costs are invariably a lot lower. Yeah. yeah, no, that's really dope. I'm off the top of my head, I'm thinking this one for the background of the chat, and then this one for the main actual picture. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Oh, I did want to quickly show you the solo leveling. I'm not sure anyone who if any of you are actually interested, but I will show you all the same, because fuck it. Is there an update that's due? Don't tell me, please. I don't play too often anymore. I used to. Oh no, we're good. Oh, hold on. Okay, sorry, I promise. It'll be really quick, I promise. Okay, you know what? We don't have to. Okay, we don't have to do it. It's fine. Screw it. Fuck it. Well, we don't have to. It's fine. All right, we don't. All right, I will save you all from the suffering that is solo leveling. Good lord. Fucking children around here, man. Okay, stop. Fuck's sakes. Okay, guys. Fucking children. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. We're gonna leave it there, you fucking children. God. You guys were the ones who asked that there are no fucking side characters in solo leveling, so I wanted to show you that there were. Fuck, God. Ugh. Okay, whatever. All right. Once again, thanks everyone so much for joining, and great stream. That's those are some great. I don't know if I don't think it's the Antichrist. What makes you think it's the Antichrist, Red Devil? I didn't see. Yeah, this is the image I used for my. I think for the thumbnail for the thing. We didn't ask, we just said, okay, fuck you, Romero. Okay, never mind. God. This is the image I used for the thumbnail for my first, well, I guess only currently LOTM video. That's such a cool image. Fuck. I sent you worse Audrey art. Aw. Wow, Audrey is drawn stunningly beautiful. What the fuck? Holy shit. Yeah, because of the imagery of the upside down future things I won't spoil. Ah, interesting. Oh, I don't know. No, nothing like hates any of you. Okay, stuff. Okay, it could be stuff I don't know, because off the top of my head, I just what I see is that being a reference to like or to Saint Peter, because I mentioned this before. I don't know if you were here, Red Devil, but Saint Peter was about to be crucified, and he said, like, as he was about to be, he was like, "Oh, what an honor it is to be." I don't know. I can't remember the exact phrasing. I apologize, but like, okay, relax, God, Jesus Christ, Romero and Amnesiac. Why do you have to take it in such a weird way? Oh my God. When Saint Peter was about to be crucified, he said, "What an honor it is to be something approximating to the effect of like, what an honor it is to be killed in the way my Lord was." And so the Roman soldier said, "Oh, cool. This is an honor," and so they crucified him upside down. Saint Peter crucifixion. Yeah, like. If I pull this up really quickly, yeah, so like he was crucified upside down because they said like, "Oh, this is an honor for you." Okay, no problem. We can take that away. No problem. We're just making you stay safe. Yeah, I appreciate that. I just meant it like, hey, it's drawn really beautifully. Nothing weird. Don't be weird about it. God. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Great stream. We'll do another one tomorrow. It'll be a little bit later in the day though, or earlier. I don't know what time it is for you guys, but for me it'll just be like, it'll probably start in like 2 or 3 hours from now, depending on if Easy is streaming. Then I might not do a stream tomorrow. Just let my throat rest a little bit too, because I've been streaming I think every day for the last little bit, and my throat is killing me every day a little bit more. But yeah, once again, thank you so much everyone for joining, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you guys.